So we're all going to introduce ourselves, its name, its company, and tell us, how this is affecting you up, down, or the same, just what's going on. So we'll start with Don Thurlow. Don, you go.
Yes, Don Thurlow, retired from IBM in 2014. I've got 56 years of IT experience. This is kind of the normal for me. The virus has just kind of said, don't go out. We don't have any meetings. We don't have any of that kind of stuff. And I'm just used to these types of meetings. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for hanging out with us.
My name is Sean Marvin. I'm the founder of Cross Industries. We offer managed IT services to small businesses in this area, as well as the Southeast. Been doing this for over 8 years, and I love being a part of Tech After 5. Since the pandemic that's hit, we've just been more or less doing the same thing. And in addition to that, been helping customers remote access and keep them secure and safe.
And you're busier than you were.
Yes, much busier. More so with let's do it now than let's plan it out over time.
Right. Yeah.
My name is Chris Lockhart. I work for a company called Liberty Advisor Group. It's a management consulting firm out of Chicago. As a result, I travel for my job. So remote work is fairly straightforward. Coming to you live from beautiful Greenville, South Carolina. Happy to attend the Charleston event as always. And, I think, remote meetings are always, challenging, right? With people not necessarily knowing how the technology works or knowing how to act or how to communicate effectively over the medium. So it's kind of an interesting time to see how people are adapting to it.
More or less are the same in terms of work volume.
Yeah. What's interesting is I would say it's more work somehow, quite apart from, being the homeschooler in chief, and somehow there are more dishes and more laundry being produced than ever before. That I can tell. But also it just seems that with virtual work, people just assume you're always available throughout the day at every moment of the day.
And by the way, you guys might recognize Chris Lockhart is one of the guys that I hang with him on his Consultant Saying Things podcast. So if you've had a chance to kind of listen to us riff, that's Chris's brainchild. And Chris is also the author of The People Problem, which is a book about the people problem in IT. So it's a lot of fun. And you ought to get the book. You ought to hang out and listen to the podcast. It's super fun.
Thank you for the plugs, Phil. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's fun. Go ahead, Ashley.
Hey, guys. My name's Ashley Coleman. I'm with Telware. We're out here in Charlotte. I'm in the telecommunications, communications infrastructure business. So for business as usual, a lot of people are taking their users remote. So we've seen an increase in that. As far as me and my working conditions, same meetings, same conversations. I feel like that there's definitely a demand and people are learning to adapt and adjust, which is always great. And it's encouraging to see still business as usual in other industries. But me, I'm just taking more calls in my home. I know today I was out doing a site survey, but we're definitely practicing, social distancing as a company. I think even in Mecklenburg County, I'm seeing the same things here. Just everyone taking that extra step. So, but yeah, business as usual over here.
That's quite a backdrop you've got going on there, Ashley. That's very nice. I like that. Yeah, it's
Cheers
aspirational. The rest of us have to fake that. That's just the way it looks for you. So,
well, hey, cheers, everybody. Oh, you can't see my boss. That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm Chris Dugan. I'm the founder of Reforged Gaming Lounge, and I also serve as a system administrator for a company called Peoplease in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. For my company, this would have been a total disaster had we launched in our normal timeline, because our entire business model is built around people congregating and hanging out for hours on end. So I guess there's a silver lining to us being delayed on our launch. That being said, we're reviewing our business model to see what we could do to make any tweaks should something like this come about again. Could we actually survive, if that's even possible? From the Peoplease side of things, this is a more long-form version of our business continuity plan, which I was one of the architects of back in 2016, and obviously have modified a little bit for modern times now. We use Microsoft Teams and things like that already. So going fully distributed, because we live in a hurricane zone, isn't anything foreign to us, but for the length of time that it's going to be is kind of the challenge right now. I have no less than 10 of these through various platforms. Microsoft Teams, GoToAssist is a thing that we use because we use a lot of remote support for our people.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting for sure. It's definitely highlighted deficiencies within the organization where people have just said, yeah, I know how to do that. And then here we are. And they 100% do not know how to do that. So it's certainly a challenge for the organization in some ways.
Yeah, no doubt. Very good. Thanks for being here. Richard.
Yeah, hey everybody. Good to see everybody. I'm a senior manager at Blackbot of support operations. I've been we've basically been preparing for this since mid-February because we knew this was going to happen. So our company is very mobile friendly. So literally on a Friday, everybody went home, and because of our preparation, Monday, basically all over the weekend, we told everybody we're working from remote, and everybody was working remote that Monday, kind of like what Chris was saying, with BCDR planning and things of that nature. Because of the hurricane zone, we're very used to this, so it was just kind of like turning on a dime and pivoting pretty quickly. So that worked out really well. But Gary is also, we're on the Restart leadership team, which some of you know about the Restart program. We were supposed to have our Restart career conference this past Saturday, the 28th, and it was canceled. But I am happy to announce that we'll have some great information coming out in the next few weeks, because we are pivoting to a digital series that is going to start in May. So we've been working really hard at getting that out as well for those. And now the need's going to be even greater for those who might be in transition or need to dust out their resumes, et cetera, et cetera. So the two hats that I wear, both for my day job and the night job, it's been quite busy.
Yeah, I would guess.
Led me to drink.
Yeah, well, luckily you've got that solved right there. I know we reached out beforehand, but obviously this all fell to pieces. But before you do your digital stuff, let's get a chance to talk about that on the Tech After 5 podcast and see what people are up to.
Yeah, I would love it. Yeah, thanks.
David.
My name is David Roten. I'm enlisted in the United States Air Force here at Charleston Air Force Base. So I've been in IT for about 5 years. This is the first meeting I've been to. I'm eager to see what I can learn from you guys.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an interesting first Tech After 5.
Yeah.
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 The next one will be a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, I was command and control. Good to meet you. We'll talk more.
Yeah, welcome aboard. And they don't often look like this. In fact, it's never looked like this before. So this is a unique moment in time. Pat.
All right. Hey, guys. This is my second Tech After 5. I really enjoyed my experience last month. So I just want to keep coming back. I'm an applications recruiter for tech systems. And so I'm really fortunate to be working for, a tech giant company that we're easily able to go remote, kind of like what everyone else has been saying. Kind of, we're preparing for it, not sure if we're actually going to go remote. Then got the call like Sunday, like, hey, stay at home Monday. You're just going to do everything from home. And so, yeah, being able to contact people is super important to our job. Typically we like to meet people face to face. So that's been the hard part during these times. But like all you guys said, leveraging different platforms like FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, we're still able to keep doing our work. Helping people find the next dream opportunity for them in their career. So, yeah. So
less, more, same volume as before?
It's actually interesting. At first, it did take like a second to adjust. As you can imagine, we've seen tons of layoffs and whatnot, but at the same time, we are seeing a whole bunch of new opportunities as well. It really depends on the industry. For example, like school districts, they're like almost on a complete standstill. So, any hiring in that regards is kind of paused. But a lot of industries are still actively hiring. Even some of our top customers that normally love to do face-to-face interviews and whatnot, they're making exceptions with the pandemic, being able to do, Skype interviews. So, lots of people are still actively hiring in this time. As you can imagine, there's a lot of negatives, but also some positive opportunities coming from it as well.
Sure. All right. Super. Chris.
Yes, I'm Chris Duchesne. I work for Trimec Solutions. It's a engineer. They say it's an engineering resource company. Basically, we resell basically high-tech technical stuff such as 3D printers, 3D scanners, and engineering design software called SolidWorks, 3D CAD, and all its related platform stuff. I'm in the Charleston area is where I'm based out of, and we do stuff virtually and stuff. So it's kind of not a shocker to work from home. Definitely, they usually encourage us to get more face-to-face with customers and more out there. But as far as going digital, our company was already starting to go digital for training, but they overnight moved everything to digital online, which was good. And I'm trying to help out with some of that stuff. But we're talking about the different platforms to use, for example, like Zoom and stuff. Well, I've been using GoToMeeting for quite a long time and so on. And you see the difference in that. As far as business and what's going on, I know definitely for, what we do in the Charleston area, definitely not a lot of at least hardware business. Done some scanner demos recently, which we got some opportunities with, but it's just definitely quieted down because companies aren't making as big capital investments right now because they're all kind of holding back on it. But we're also looking to do some like certification, virtual certifications and stuff to help people that are in career transitions, hopefully too. So
yeah,
that's basically that in a nutshell.
Good. Thank you for being here. George.
Hi, I'm George. So I have a business called Green by 3, and it's a bit of a niche. So at the very high level, we help businesses who want to renovate or build buildings. We bridge the gap between the construction world and the business world. So we help the business understand everything that they know and don't know about what it takes to do all this. And then we work on everything down to the very detailed level of design work and designing the entire space, the electrical infrastructure, data infrastructure, and everything just to make sure that the businesses and the construction world know all the details about what it takes to do what the client wants to do. As far as work-wise, I think I'm really busy right now, but I think it's just a matter of timing. I'm working on 3 projects. One of them sort of got put on hold because it was just looking for land for a client who wants to build a new building. They want to buy land, so that got kind of put on hold. The other 2 projects, one's here in Charleston, one's in Greenville, are really doing design work for a building. So they're both tech companies, so we take and we work with them and work with their employees about what it is that they want and need to make their space functional and productive to their business. And then we design all that. And then we work with the building owner to make sure they understand what it is that we're doing and to make sure the value is there for both sides. As far as business, so to keep the project moving along, I help the clients do online collaboration work so we can keep that project moving. So we put everything online so we can continue to do design work and revisions and everything that we need to do to make sure everything keeps going. So we have a lot of Zoom meetings with the client, the construction team, the furniture people, the data people, the electrical people, to make sure that we keep things moving down the road. A lot of the construction side doesn't understand everything that we're doing here.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a learning curve from the construction side, but as long as I have one person that I can talk to that can set this up, everybody else can just chime in.
Kim.
Hey, so can y'all hear the pouring rain in my
Wow. Yeah, that's loud.
Yeah, so I'm gonna mute myself again. I'm sorry. I don't have headsets.
We'll come back. Wendy, that it won't last. We'll try to come back to you later.
Hey, I'm Molly. I'm with Tech Systems here in Charleston. I moved to tech from Greenville to Charleston about a month ago. We noticed that there was kind of a gap in our support with the infrastructure space here. So I came on over. I guess for me, the biggest thing is my job right now is just to figure out what companies we can partner with, how we can help them. So it's been an interesting time in my role just because it's hard to really understand right now, like where I can plug in with companies, how I can support them, but also being sensitive to the situation and not being a pushy salesperson. So I've just been doing my best to reach out and better understand the local market here, the businesses, what's going on in general, and just reaching out, letting people know that I'm a local resource if they need something, but trying to gain my bearings on what's going on. But from a tech system standpoint, it was really easy to up and get remote. So like Pat said, we're very lucky to work for a company where it was so we're so fortunate that all I had to do was bring my computer home, and we have access to a lot of great technologies and development. So I've been doing some trainings and different things like that and keeping myself busy.
Good for you. You know, that sounds like hard work. As I'm sitting there thinking about this, it's like, you know, it's one thing if I were farming, but to go hunting from one end of a video phone where I can't actually see my customer, or in this case, they're not even my customer. It's just a prospect at this point, and say, oh, I swear to you, I'm a nice person and you should deal with me.
Yeah,
but
and I
you
just
don't
want
know
to
me.
I don't want to sell you anything right now, but if you need something, I'm happy to.
Yeah. Bless your heart. Good on you. That sounds like work. But if you come up with some good techniques, I mean, I always like this idea. This is tough times, right? This can be hard times. But the neat thing is you will learn new things that can work. And the folks that you do break through to, they really need you, right? So, I mean, the good news is you've gotten past all of that bit. So good on you.
Yeah.
All right, Anwar.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Super.
My first time at Tech After 5 here.
Well, we're doing it in your living room. In your living room.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys accommodating my schedule and coming into my home like this.
That's right.
We try.
It is something, it's part of what I do. I do work remotely quite a bit. I run my own company called Cloud Ogre, also Hike Asheville. And so I've been in the remote work space for quite a bit, really more around mission critical connectivity and business continuity and disaster recovery. Probably made my biggest chunk around Superstorm Sandy. I'm from Brooklyn, as you probably hear. And I live in Tryon, North Carolina, in horse country.
Beautiful.
Where I'm trying to raise some funds and build a data center out of the new building that I got.
Ah, you're building a data center.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Wow. Where?
It's in Mill Spring. I bought the old Mill Spring Ag Center in December.
Okay.
And so we got fiber in there and some copper as well from Windstream and a nonprofit ISP. And so we're looking to take advantage of that and make it at least a tier 3 by end of the year.
What's your role in that?
Oh, it's mine.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you two need to connect. Both of you are in the Asheville area.
Let's connect. Yeah. I used to design data centers.
Yeah. I was listening to you when you were talking about the construction. I'm like, I need that guy right now.
I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. You two definitely need to meet for sure.
Yeah, so let me tell you one of the things that you can do, because we're going to put some of this into the group feed. I don't want you to do it right now because I'm using that channel to say who's next.
Oh,
and if we did that, it would be nice. But you can privately chat to anybody in the room. So if you look up and you see George's name, you can reach down into the chat window and say, tell just George this. And you can send him a private message, right?
I wasn't sure what his name was. George with a J.
That's right.
Also, if you mouse over George's video and the triple ellipses in the top right, you have 2 options on his face, and there's chat and pin video. It'll shortcut straight to chat.
Oh, there you go. You can chat right to him. Check that out.
It'll just update it for you.
That's a good thing too. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to get you to put some stuff here in the main feed at the end, but I don't want to do it right now, so we can all keep track of who's coming up. Next is Gary.
Hey, I'm Gary Mushak. I work for a very large financial technology company called Fiserv. We are the company that moves money. So think of Zelle, Pop Money, paying bills online, taking pictures of your check to deposit it in a bank. Our banks are our primary clients, and I do process improvement for them from an operational perspective, and it's a very, very crazy time. Just found out that my position will be eliminated as part of this economic adjustment at the end of May. So I'm actively looking for kind of something internally right now because I can move, but we have a hiring freeze going on. So I'm still looking to see what options that I've got. So there's been a lot of changes happening, but keeping my fingers crossed. So if any of you have anybody I can connect with, basically my background is in really strong in the PMO world. So project management, program management, portfolio management, et cetera, in a variety of different industries, primarily financial.
Super. Keep that up. All right, Andy.
Hello, all. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great, because I didn't have my external mic, so that's great. My name is Andy Martin, and I am with a company called Energy Inc. Out near Daniel Island. We manufacture an energy monitor. This situation started affecting us early in January, or late January, because we have quite a few Chinese vendors, and part of my job is to see that our product gets manufactured. So we had supply issues that was quite challenging through January, February. And the current situation has been then quite challenging for our sales group, as they do a lot of face-to-face and as well as rely on calls into the office itself. So definitely been a challenging time. Quite honestly, not sure if we're going to survive this next couple of months. Right now, the company owner and I, we are both actually going in to the office quite a bit. I work on one floor and he works on the other, so we don't really come in contact with each other. But everybody else, we have either laid off or we have a few people that are working remotely. So it's been pretty challenging for sure. And we'll see. But enjoy this group. Touch base with Tech After 5. Different times over the years in the different locations that you've been around Charleston, usually just to kind of get a little bit of a pulse of what's going on, and also sometimes to bring in some talent to our group. Right now, I'm reconnecting with my network, so that's what it's all about.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And we'll come back and see if we can do more to help you. Hey, Spencer, it's you.
Okay. Hello. How's everybody today?
Awesome.
So far, so good.
Can you hear me? I just unmuted myself to make certain. If the rain's too loud, I'll get off. But I'm with Strategic Asset Management Consultants. We manage people's money. We're financial advisors. We work primarily with business owners and help them with their special needs, because most W-2 people don't have the needs that a business owner has. And we also work with nonprofits in managing their endowments and helping them build endowments. Right now, business is brisk, more questions than doing, wondering what's going to happen in the market and what the best things to do. And as I'm telling most people, we sit and hold. It is a gentleman rooster bellicoso.
You should say why you're saying
Oh,
that.
yes. Phil just asked me what type of cigar I was smoking. And I'm on the porch because I can smoke on the porch. I can't smoke in my home office.
Spencer, we have a group that smokes every Thursday, and we've been doing it on Zoom calls now, and we'll get 18 of them together and smoke cigars, and everyone's on their back porch, kind of like what you're doing right now, usually without, it's not been raining, the weather's been nice.
Yeah.
But it's this kind of nonsense, but we all smoke cigars. So
Yeah,
I just want you to know.
That's what my my broker dealer last week. We tried a Zoom call between 5 of us and said we called it a happy hour, hump day happy hour. Got together and we all consulted. So I'm here more or less to network with people, answer questions. If I can be a bit of service to you, feel free to contact me.
Super. Thank you. Will.
Hi, my name is Will Tome. This is actually my second Tech After 5, so a little different experience than my first, but I'm a solutions architect at Red Hat, and I cover the telecom industry for our automation platform. So this is typically a pretty slow time of year for me, kind of anyways, but I spend most of my time on the road, so this has been the longest I've been at home since I've actually started at Red Hat. So that's kind of a nice change. So still meeting with customers, still a lot going on, but of course all moved virtually. I'm kind of taking a lot of this time to catch up on things that I've been meaning to do over the past year or more, catch up on some training and so forth as we kind of get 2020 started, and just try to make the best of it while I am home and while I do have a little bit of extra time and not running through airports and such.
Len Sabelli, been in the IT business and sales and marketing at the executive level and first line manager for about 25 years or so. And we also have a family company called Sabelli Media Group, and that's really owned by my son, and I'm the banker, I guess. And things have slowed down dramatically, so he's looking to sell that business, which is in upstate New York. It's been doing very well lately. And for me, looking locally right now to see where I could fit in. Some great friends at Blackboard and other companies have reached out to me, and we'll see where it goes. Right now, everything is on a hiring freeze. Nobody wants to lay out the money until America figures out what the heck is going on next, and hopefully that'll work out. So background has been mostly cybersecurity, network security engineering. I've dealt with a lot of great engineers and developers over my years, and this is just a fantastic group. I've been on some Chamber of Commerce groups on videos and the like, and 1 Million Cups locally here. So we just got to support each other, reach out, connect with me if you're not connected on LinkedIn. I'm glad to help anyone or just chat.
Super.
So thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
See if we can help you.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Kendra. I'm with Catalyst Consulting here in Charleston. I attended some Tech After Fives many years ago. As I talked to people, I've been to the last couple of meetings the last 2 months, and as I talked to people about when I last went, it was even further, even longer ago than I thought. They're like, "Wow, that was a long time ago." So I was happy to reconnect. It's a great group. I like the friendly vibe and how open everybody is. It really is terrific. So at Catalyst Consulting, I work with teams and organizations, leadership teams, functional teams, departmental teams, to become more effective as teams. And in the process, they actually end up changing the culture of the team and hopefully the organization. That's the real fun work. You find out when you work with teams, we start out, the team does an assessment of themselves and whether they're high performing or not. And very few teams assess themselves as high performing, I will say. And then even fewer actually are high performing. So it's been interesting, this pivot to virtual work. as an outside consultant, some of the projects were put on hold, but I'm hoping that's temporary as people try to pivot and then actually get as much work done virtually as they were doing before. The good part about the work we do with people is it can move to virtual work actually quite easily, but working productively and virtually, we find very, very few people are skilled at that. So.
Yep, I'll bet that's true. All right, I think everybody has got to introduce themselves except possibly Kim McManus. Kim, are things any better where you are?
How do I sound now?
You sound great, and I don't hear rain.
Fabulous. Yes, it has finally slowed down here. So I'm Kim McManus. I'm with the Charleston Regional Business Journal. We're actually part of Connect, which runs USA Today. That's a somewhat new thing. There was a merger a few months ago. So it's been really interesting to see how my company has responded to this as a big worldwide company versus locally. Turns out that all of our hurricane evacuations have prepared us really well for moving to remote work, whereas our other offices, they're like, we don't know what to do. We have desktops and our phones are linked and we can't do this. So we picked up our stuff and went home, and everybody else had to wait a few more days until IT caught up with them.
Wow.
So that was really interesting to see our hurricane fire drills paid off. So we're actually hopping pretty hard, trying to get the stories and cover this and get the news out. So in that respect, everything is picked up immensely. On the other side of things, reaching out to businesses, people are occupied and doing other things, and I can hear the rain coming back. But we're here as a resource for everyone. We're trying to keep up to date on what's going on for businesses in Charleston, Columbia, and the upstate. So if you're looking for a resource, reach out to us for that.
Cool. Super. All right, so we're going to run a little experiment, and you guys are going to play with me on this. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a 10-minute exercise, and then we're all going to come back. And when we come back, we're going to do the LinkedIn thing like we normally do, but it's going to be a little bit different. All right. So first thing is, there are 17 people on this call. Everyone got to introduce themselves, right? I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I missed anybody. I've been pretty meticulous taking notes. So here's what we're going to do. There are 17 of us. I'm going to break you into 4 rooms. And that means there's going to be 4 or 5 people in each room. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. So in that 10 minutes, find someone to make sure that you have a leader, because I won't be in all of those rooms. But make sure that you've got a leader in your room. And I want each of you to go around in the room, just take a minute or two and say, what is one thing that could help you in what you're doing move the ball forward at this time? How could we help you at this moment? So do you understand the mission I'm giving you? Everybody? A nod will help.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, a nod. All right. So I'm going to give you that. So I'm going to break it into rooms. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. And if I've got this right, it's going to give you a clock and you'll be able to see the clock and see the 10 minutes counting down. All right. So first off, it's going to happen automatically. So this is as close as we get to chat roulette. I have no idea how you're going to get broken up. So ready? It's automatic. I'm going to hit that. So just a note, anybody, how did that work? Little breakout rooms. Does that work okay?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Great.
Productive.
Yeah.
We had the best group, just saying.
Yeah. Here's Lynn. Hey, Phil.
And Chris Lockhart was sharing his beer, so that was great.
Welcome.
Really good.
COVID free.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I think Gary got
I gotta
off
go,
the
guys.
island.
Let's continue to do this. It's fantastic. Love everybody to death, and good seeing everybody.
Great to see
Yeah,
you.
I'm getting off too, guys. Bye.
But
Take care.
before you
Bye-bye.
wander off,
Later, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Oh, Phil's not done.
I got one last thing. We're not done here.
Hang on.
I'm not
Okay,
saying-
one last thing. I'm sticking it out. Sorry.
Yeah. So my thing is, I said, we can't do the LinkedIn thing that we always do, but what you can do is you can go and type your LinkedIn URL into the chat window so other people can see it.
Sure.
And that way you can go connect everybody if you want. So I just did mine as a sample. And by the way, you can click on the 3 dots and say save chat if you've got that window up on yours, depending on which one you've got. And I'll tell you what, if you stick it in here, I'll mail this to everybody who signed up for the event so you can get that. But if you just paste your LinkedIn account here.
Oh, wow. I'm glad I stuck around. That's a nice little plus. I love to connect with everyone.
For you. I know you got another drink coming up, but
oh, I know.
yeah. Thank you for being my alpha team on this. You guys are awesome, and that's a lot of help. So, and I'm going to tell you that Chris kind of gave you Lockhart, going to give you an idea of what I think is possible here. Think about this. We've been, this is whatever this is, the 560th event or something like that.
You
right?
didn't look it up?
I didn't look it up. Just to talk, right? So 560 Tech After Fives. We have always had people that couldn't make it for one reason or another, schedule-wise or whatever. And I constantly have people who say to me, I live in New Jersey, I'm getting ready to move to Greenville, or I'm getting ready to move to Charleston, or my family's coming to Columbia, and I'd love to connect to that community, but I can't. Guess what? I can solve that problem now. Or the other thing is that we've done in the past, guys like Lockhart have made the trip with me and visited multiple events. So we've had people like hit all 4 events a month. You could do that now, right? I mean, so if we do, I think what we'll have is we're going to have local events, which we kind of aim at the local audience. And then I'm just going to do something big and invite everybody on the list to come hang out with us and do Tech After 5 with us. And the chance for us to cross-pollinate by cities, we can do some cool things. I'm letting the breakout rooms were randomly assigned. We could curate those lists ahead of time, load them into Zoom and say, now break out into rooms and you guys get to talk about this and you get to talk about this. So I think there's lots of options for us to do something together.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super neat. So lots of things, but I just needed, I'm the kind of guy who likes to creep up on a thing. So this was, let's run this at 15 people or 20 people, and we're gradually building up. So I've done several of these at the 20 level now, and it kind of gives me a sense for what we've got going on. So
you even group the rooms up by interest. Interesting.
That's right. You could do however you wanted on those.
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
Right? So that's kind of cool if that's how you wanted to do it. So thank you for being here. I recorded some of this. I might pull clips out of it to kind of show people what we're doing and have them show up. So I will, as I do that, if I'm any good at this at all, I'll tag you on LinkedIn and let you know what's going on. But thank you for hanging out with the very first Alpha virtual Tech After 5.
Thank you, Phil, for
thanks everybody. Thanks, Chris. Phil.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Mahalo.
Yeah. See you guys.
Appreciate virtually meeting you all.
Thank you.
Stay healthy, everybody.
Yeah.